Absolutely. Well, folks, it's 6 o'clock. And as Kelly can attest, because I believe this is the third time she sat through this type of training with me, we do have a rather robust training. So I do want to go ahead and get started. That way we can honor your time. Kelly, really quick, I'm just making you a co-host in case there are any admins or questions or anything like that. So I wanted to welcome all of you. Thank you very much for taking time out of your evening this Thursday evening to join us for the Service Unit Coordinator training for the 2023 cookie program. I'm still really having a hard time even wrapping my mind around the fact that we're talking about 2023, but here we are and we're ready to go. So before we get started, I just wanted to take care of a couple introductions and housekeeping items. So for those of you that are new service unit coordinators or maybe don't remember, my name is Emma Miller. I am the Director of Product Sales for the Girl Scouts of Central Illinois. This will be my second full cookie season flying solo, but of course I'm not flying completely solo because we do have our wonderful service unit coordinators who really act as an extension of our staff to our service unit. So very excited to be back for this year and to be working with each and every one of you as we prepare for cookies. Also on our call tonight is Kelly. She is our Chief Operating Officer for our council. And Kelly, I didn't know if you wanted to say hello to everyone.
You bet. Can you hear me okay, Emma? Wonderful. I just want to take a minute and thank each of you for the role that you play as a service unit coordinator for product sales. We would not be able to do this program and provide these opportunities to our girls without all of you. You are extremely valuable to the council and the role you play. So I thank you. From the entire council, from myself, from Emma, because it is an important role and it's very valuable. And like I said, we could not do this without you. So thank you. And I would just like to take a minute and thank Emma too for the training and the time she's put together. And for those of you that might not know, Emma got married, so her last name has changed. So we're very excited to welcome Mrs. Miller.
Thank you very much, Kelly. It's been an exciting season, and I think that momentum will help carry all that energy forward for 2023. So thank you very much for that. And I do just want to echo Kelly, especially because you and I all work very closely together from now through March and April as we're working on finishing things up. And I just can't sincerely thank you enough for being a volunteer and for also helping to support me, being patient with me as I'm learning and growing, and just really coming back to work with us as well from year to year. So it is really nice to have that core group of volunteers like yourselves that we can rely on. So just a couple items of housekeeping, then we'll get right rolling. I am going to take myself off camera here very shortly. I tend to talk with my hands, and so I distract myself and don't want to distract you. Feel free, if you are on camera, to leave yourself on. If you are off camera, feel free to leave yourself off. I am going to ask that during the majority of the presentation, if you don't mind remaining on mute. I am recording this presentation for any of our coordinators who might not be able to join us either Tuesday evening or tonight. And so we will be pausing quite often for questions. So feel free to type questions in the chat box. When we pause, Kelly and I will both review the chat box, and we also will take anyone if you want to unmute and ask a question as well. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started here. Let me take this off here. All righty. So again, thank you for attending tonight's training, the Service Unit Coordinator training for the upcoming 2023 cookie program. This program, the direct sale portion, will kick off on February 3rd. As we know, there is a lot of work, especially for staff and service unit coordinators before February 3rd, but that is the date when girls can start having cookies out and about in our communities. As we're also probably all well aware, March 19th is a bit of an ambiguous end date. That is more of a solidification of the fact that the council will stop ordering and bringing in cookies after that date. We will still have cookies a little bit past that date in our cupboards for walk-ins or swaps, but it will be just with the product that we have available. So again, you will see troops who are selling into April and May, and that's totally fine, but that kind of gives troops an idea when the council will start closing out our side of the cookie program. So this year, our theme is the same from the 22 fall product program that we just wrapped up. So we are getting ready to go bright ahead into cookies. You will notice that the mascot is different from the fall product program. We have a dolphin for the cookie program. So you'll see lots of cute dolphin themed clip art and material for your troop, as well as dolphins throughout this training. So I wanted to dive in really quick and first just touch base with you on the service unit coordinator responsibilities. Many of you are aware and or already taking care of these details, but it also doesn't hurt to touch base just to make sure. So I wanted to, again, thank you very much. Like I said, we are getting ready to hit boots to the ground and get ready for 23 cookies. And really the first portion of taking care of that is to secure a delivery location. If you don't mind securing those and sending me the information for your delivery site by December 19th, that gives me time then to turn around our requests to the warehouse before the holiday. So when we all return refreshed from a small holiday break, then we know what the schedule will look like for later in January. As service unit coordinators, you also help us by conducting troop level trainings. At this point, we're turning to a more normal lifestyle, whether you choose to host those trainings virtually or in person, that is completely up to you. But hosting some sort of training or meeting would be a great idea and also a great time to distribute the sales material that you hopefully have all received, as well as the troop cookie, the trefoil. We will talk about the name change here in just a few slides, but the new name for the shortbread cookie is trefoil to align with the iconic name for the shortbread cookie. And so that is the troop cookie this year for their sample box. You help me look at orders and make sure troops are placing initial orders and things in our smart cookie system. You help us with scheduling troop product pickup for initial order. Working with membership and program staff on troop training and attendance, as well as helping us out at our initial order delivery sites. And this year too, you're going to hear me mention an initial order and planned orders quite a bit. And this is in order to encourage our troops and really show them the importance of this initial order. So as that core group of volunteers, you can really help sway our troops and persuade them to place that initial order. It's always a great idea to do so, especially if troops want to have cookies on hand. And this year, more than ever, it's going to be really important to be utilizing those orders. So on delivery day, while we are out delivering cookies on initial order, we will have you collect troop coordinator agreements, and then you can either hold on to those until the end of the cookie program, or you can give those to the staff member who is assisting at your troop product pickup. So that is whatever you prefer. So it always helps to know, again, as our core group of volunteers, it's helpful to share our goals so you know what we are working towards as a council. So we are looking for a goal of budgeted sales of $6,550,660. having a per girl average of 254 boxes per girl, which I think will be very easy for us to achieve, as well as a girl participation goal of 5,158 girls. Our membership team is really knocking it out of the park when it comes to getting new girls and getting girls registered. So I really believe we'll be able to hit that girl goal as well. So all three goals should be pretty achievable, especially because we will be working with you, or you will be helping us reach out to the troops and work with them. So we talk about the importance of the cookie program, and we saw our goals, but really the most important part of the cookie program are all the skills and opportunities that our girls receive through the cookie program. So not only are they earning rewards and possibly, cookie dough and things to use in the future, but they're also developing skills that will go with them in the future and into adulthood. So even though the stuffed animal of the year may not last past a couple of years in her room, these 5 skills will always be with her, and whether she thinks about it or not, they will constantly be in practice in her life. So these 5 skills are goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. So we know and can testify to how these 5 skills are really put into practice by each of our troops. But really the power of the cookie program is in the hands of our girls, and that's exactly how it should be. So we do have essential cookie paperwork. Hopefully you have received some of that paperwork by now. We do know that the order cards won't be arriving just yet because we want to make sure that we don't encourage troops to sell early in person and things like that, but we will have all of this essential cookie paperwork available at our service unit level, as well as extra material at the service center. So if you run out of paperwork, feel free to reach out to your local service center for additional paperwork. I can also help connect those dots as well. We can also direct our leaders to visit their local service center as well. So before we take a look at where we've been, I wanted to stop and just take a look at the chat box here. Okay. Oh, yes, there will be, thank you, Jennifer, for that question about will there be a PowerPoint to refer to? Yes, we made some updates, and so when I send out the follow-up tomorrow morning with the details of the training, as well as the link to the recording for any of our service unit coordinators who couldn't join us, I will include a copy of this PowerPoint for your review as well. And Kelly, thanks for taking care of that answer, but I thought maybe it might be, good for everyone as well. All right. So it is helpful to look where we were at before we look at where we're headed in 2023. So we did debut a new cookie variety, the Adventurefuls. We know there was a lot of buzz around those cookies. I do think that there is still excitement around that variety. I know personally I've had a couple people mention to me that they can't wait. They only got to try 1 box. I don't think it will have quite the energy that it did in 22, but it's a variety that I think is absolutely going to hold its own. So we also transitioned back to a more normal program, even more than the year before. More store locations had opened up, whether they were council secured or troop secured, and girls were more out and about in the public eye. We did experience delivery issues and nationwide shortages, and so we know that things aren't ever going to go back to the way that they used to be, and so Kelly and I worked together with several different teams to make sure that we had answers for how to address these potential problems for 2023. So throughout the rest of the training, we'll be referring to key ideas that will help make sure that we can try to prevent some of the issues that we experienced last year. We did also see some updated smart cookie verbiage. So the troop virtual link became the troop cookie link. and troop direct ship was changed to troop ship only. So you'll still see though both of those terms kind of used interchangeably, but I did just want to recall that from everyone's memory just in case we're going on and we need a refresher there. So now let's take a look at what we are going to do to go bright ahead into 2023. So first of all, we will have a new cookie variety, the Raspberry Rally. Hopefully you have all heard about this delicious new variety through the buzz on social media and in the media itself. We are going to take a look at the Raspberry Rally right on the next slide, so just hang tight with me on questions for those, and hopefully we'll answer all of your Raspberry Rally questions. As I mentioned a little earlier, the shortbread variety will now be called the trefoil. Again, that's more in line with the iconic brand as well as with Little Brownie Baker's variety as well. We did pre-order the gluten-free caramel chocolate chip again. I know that pre-ordering in October seems extremely early, and I completely agree. However, we do that, or ABC Bakers does that for the safety of our gluten-free customers. So they do actually shut down an entire production facility, clean that thoroughly, and then in November start a run of gluten-free caramel chocolate chip. They bake everything that was pre-ordered, and that way they can ship it out to councils with the rest of their initial order cookies. So again, it's super early, I know, but they do that for the safety of our gluten-free customers to ensure really that they are getting a truly gluten-free cookie. We are stressing an increased importance on placing a troop initial order. Placing an initial order will really be step one in how we can address and hope to prevent any future delivery issues. In order to help with troops' decision to place an initial order, we did adjust the first ACH date. This will give troops an additional weekend to have booth sales, to go door to door, or have in-person sales before the council is withdrawing any money from their account. We will take a look at that a little bit later as well. We are going to see a change in subsidized shipping. I will review that with you in a few slides. I have an update for you on Walmart booths. We do have a new reward option that we'll discuss towards the end of the training called Travel Dough, and I'm really excited about this opportunity, and I hope that you guys will be too once we can discuss that. And again, we did see a unified theme between the 22 fall product program and the upcoming 23 cookie program. This will continue to be the case. So the 23 fall product and 24 cookie not mascot, but theme will be the same. So I do like that. They do have two different mascots, but I do like the continued theme. So the Raspberry Rally cookie is our newest cookie variety. It is a pink, crisp, raspberry flavored center cookie that is dipped in the same iconic chocolate as our favorite, the Thin Mint cookie. This cookie is going to be a little bit different because it is going to be available to customers who shop for direct ship only. This isn't a new concept. If you recall from the fall product program, our council offers 16 items on the order card for in-person orders and for online girl delivery orders. But if a customer wants direct ship orders, they are able to order other items that aren't on our order card. So it's the same kind of theme here with the Raspberry Rally. There will be a limited quantity nationwide, so those will be available while supplies last, and GSUSA and ABC Bakers will kind of be monitoring that. As we receive communication about the Raspberry Rally, we will absolutely make sure to pass it along to our volunteers. I do want to make sure that we understand that the Raspberry Rally will not be on the order card. It will not be a variety that's available on the initial order, and it will not be available for any planned orders or girl transfers. So this is truly online direct ship only. And so that could make transferring cookies to girls difficult if, I've heard rumblings that troops are just going to go ahead and order some themselves. And that's going to cost quite a bit. We'll look at the shipping costs here in a little bit. And so that's quite an expense for a troop to take on, and it will make transferring cookies to girls and maintaining a troop's true inventory very difficult. So we just want to make sure we stress that, that it is truly an online direct ship only cookie. Julie, I appreciate that feedback, and I will absolutely pass that along to ABC Bakers and GSUSA. I can see absolutely where you are coming from, but I will absolutely save that feedback and pass that along. So we do have standardized pricing. It is the same price as last year. All of our cookie varieties are $5 per box. That does mean that all of our varieties, including the gluten-free caramel chocolate chip, can be exchanged at your local cupboard or service center for a different variety. So it's not uncommon to see a troop bring in peanut butter sandwich or trefoil and ask for a different variety that might be selling better. So you are always more than welcome to come into the cookie cupboard and swap out any cookie varieties for a different variety. Troop profit is 60 cents a box. When we take a look at rewards, we will talk about the opt-out option that allows troops to earn 85 cents per box for our junior and older troops. We will discuss that a little bit later. We do have the $100 troop bonus as well. So troops earn that in two ways: by ordering a minimum of 900 boxes on the initial order with a 180 box per girl average, and making sure that their cookie balance is paid by the final ACH on April 4th. So again, that can be another carrot that we use to encourage a troop leader to place their order. We've moved back the first ACH. We've always had the $100 troop bonus, but that's a nice little bonus for our troops. So while we're talking about finances, checks can be made payable to Girl Scouts of Central Illinois, or GSCI. We do have 3 automatic withdrawals, or ACH dates. The first one has been moved back a week from years prior. And again, that is to offer our girls and troops an additional weekend for booth sales and more time for in-person sales to help pad their bank account before we withdraw the 1/3 of the initial order balance. One thing we do want to also make sure that troops are aware of is that any online sales, whether it's girl delivery or direct ship, also will help go towards this balance that a troop will owe. So really, if they're doing online sales and they are doing booths and things, they should be able to easily have 1/3 of their initial order balance, especially now that we've moved it back to February 28th. The second ACH will be March 14th. That's 1/3 of the end of February balance. And then the third and final ACH will be on April 4th, where the council will withdraw the remainder of a troop's cookie balance. We do want to make sure that troops know if they submit a cookie payment that a customer made and it came back as an insufficient or NSF check, troops can turn those into our council by May 25th, and our finance team will work with them to help them with any bank fees and to take care of that check. The most important finance portion or part is receipts. We want to make sure that anytime cookies or money are changing hands, that we are making receipts or asking for receipts and that we are saving them. We can't rely on our parents always to save their receipts, so we want to make sure as volunteers that we save a copy, and anytime we get or give cookies to girls or receive money from girls, we want to make sure we are giving a receipt. Yes, we can absolutely make sure. I did not know Quincy was out last year, or we would have made sure there was more, because we always have additional. But yes, there will be enough receipt books for everyone. And they will also be in the correct order this year. I learned from Reggie that the ABC printed them in the correct order this year. So they will match the order card as well as what is in Smart Cookies. So the receipts are especially important because if our troops have any issues collecting money from their Girl Scouts, they can submit an outstanding balance form. This will then have our finance team adjust what we withdraw from their account on the final ACH so that we don't withdraw or overdraw a troop with a withdrawal for money they don't have. So a troop will need to turn in any outstanding balance forms by March 29th. We also need to make sure that the signed parent permission form and any receipts for that girl are turned in with that outstanding balance form. The more paperwork, the more documentation we have with an outstanding balance form, the easier it is for us to work with that girl to collect the balance. The great thing too about the outstanding balance form is it does take the money collection out of the leader's hands, so they can just focus on working with the Girl Scout, and the collection side is handled by the council. Do we have any questions before we take a look at the program timeline? And I think our chat box is clear as well. Perfect, we'll keep rolling right along. So our troop volunteers and service unit coordinator volunteers will receive their volunteer email on December 5th, 2022. So that will be coming shortly. That will be followed with a Smart Cookie Girl registration email on December 12th. This does mean that girl online sales may begin at this time. So customers shopping online for direct ship will receive their cookies as soon as the order is processed. Any customer who requests girl delivery will be thanked for their order and receive a notification that their cookies will be available on or after February 3rd when the sale goes live. So this is earlier than in years past, but we are hopeful to. We've heard some feedback from girls and volunteers that it would be nice to have an option to show families and things online, or to share while we're all at a family Christmas or something. And so this can absolutely be taken advantage of by girls, or if they want to wait, they can as well, but this will be for online sales only. So we will want to make sure that order cards and things aren't being used for in-person orders. January 9th is our initial order due date. Leaders and volunteers will submit their order via Smart Cookies in the system. Sometimes they will come to you for assistance with that, but you can always pass them along to me, and I'm happy to work with them as well to help them get their initial order submitted. January 13th, our booth scheduler will open. This will be a first come, first serve reservation period where each troop will get 2 booth slots. And then after a few days, it will open up for open reservation. We will take a look at booth scheduling and things in a little while. February 3rd is when the direct sale will begin. Girls can begin cookie booths, going door to door, and other in-person sales. And again, that will run through about March 19th. March 13th through the 19th is when reward orders are placed in Smart Cookies. So we want to work with our troop leaders to make sure they're making selections for our girls in the system so that they are getting the rewards that they have earned. April 17th is when rewards will begin to be available for pickup at local service centers. We do offer 6 opportunities to place additional planned order or additional troop orders called a planned order. We will talk about planned orders in just a few moments. And as we just discussed with finances, there will be 3 automatic money withdrawals from the troop bank account. And all of these details can be found in the Troop Cookie Coordinator Guide that we will have available here soon. Let's see, we had a question pop up here. So Jennifer, we can discuss that offline where Quincy reward orders get shipped to. Because they don't have a service center, we can work something out, but we'll take that offline if that works for you. Alrighty. So taking a look at Girl Scout program eligibility, any registered Girl Scout may participate in the Girl Scout cookie program as long as they do not have an outstanding balance and they complete a parent permission form. So we want to make sure any girl participating has their parent sign that permission form, and then our leaders keep that on file. Troops are eligible to participate as long as they have no outstanding debt to our council and all of their adult members are registered. Our parents and guardians also have responsibilities. So they will need to make sure, again, they sign a parent permission form for each of their Girl Scouts, and then they'll work with their Girl Scouts to set their cookie goals, to approve and set up their smart cookie site. And the parent will also work with the leader to pick up cookies on time, pick up sales materials, and also submit money to the troop leader prior to the ACH or automatic withdrawals that we will take out. So each troop can make their own schedule for turning in money and things like that. But as a council, we recommend February 24th, March 9th, and March 31st. This way, the troops have a couple days then to put that money into their bank account prior to the automatic withdrawal a few days later. So that parent guardian signature is extremely important. That acknowledges financial responsibility and also the policy of no cookie returns. It can also be used as the girl's initial order. There is space at the bottom of the form for a parent to work with the girl to place their initial order. And that does need to be included along with the outstanding balance form if a troop is having difficulty collecting money from a girl. So while we're talking about parents and things like that, sharing on social media is a great part of the online part of the Girl Scout program. It teaches a girl how to market herself and her business. And we definitely welcome girls and troops sharing their smart cookie links. That's what they are intended for. We do want to make sure that we are abiding by social media rules, whether those are GSUSA rules or they are rules in a certain social media group. So we do want to make sure that our troops are being, and our parents as well, are being cautious about posting on third-party sales sites. So eBay, Amazon, garage sale, selling wall, Facebook pages. This is not allowed. And it can happen very innocently. You know, if you even put a $sign, Facebook Marketplace is included in this. And so when you are sharing a girl's smart cookie link on social media, specifically Facebook, and you say, hey, shop from Susie, her cookies are $5 a box with a $sign. Now you have an automatic Facebook Marketplace post. So it does require maybe some creativity on the girl or troop's part to try to avoid that. We as staff cannot be on social media and policing that all the time. So if we do see a volunteer who is sharing incorrectly, we can always reach out to them and say, hey, gently, this is not allowed. Or you can share it with our council, me, and say, hey, so-and-so is sharing. I'll reach out to that person. We'll chat about it. And usually it's an innocent thing and the post will be taken down. We do just want to make sure that they are not on garage sale or selling walls or Facebook Marketplace. We do are welcome to share on personal pages or in neighborhood groups that aren't a sales group or other public groups, as long as that is allowed by those group standards. So we don't want to be breaking any rules with other social media pages, but you are welcome to share on any non-sales pages. So is there any question about social media or anything we've covered up to now? All righty. So as we mentioned earlier, Girl Scout invitations for Smart Cookie will arrive a little earlier this year on December 12th. Again, that gives girls time to set up their Smart Cookie site over the holiday, get comfortable with Smart Cookie, and maybe gain a little bit of online traction early. So that email will arrive to their parents' email address on December 12th. It's a very easy prompt system that the parent and girl can follow. The one thing I do want to highlight here is that the Girl Scout will create a unique username to log in. Now, I can see those usernames and can help a girl log in if she's having issues, but we do want to encourage our girls and parents to make sure they save that username, because each time a girl will log into Smart Cookies, she'll need to use that username and password. Once she gets her site set up and approved, they can work together to enter customer names and emails and actually begin online sales. So if there is a girl in a troop, or our troop leader approaches you about how do I get this girl added, contact our customer care team. They will let me know and we will get her uploaded into Smart Cookies right away. So I did see a couple questions come in here in the chat. So usernames, yes, Alyssa, you are correct to answer Julie's question. Each year, the Smart Cookie system is wiped and cleaned out, so that way everyone's data and information is protected. So girls will need to create a new username from last year. So our customers who shop from our girls online have 3 different options to receive their cookies. They can choose direct ship, where the cookies are shipped by FedEx to their home. There are shipping rates that apply. A girl can also choose girl delivery, where the customer orders and pays online, but the cookies are delivered to the customer by the Girl Scout. A customer can also skip getting cookies themselves and donate cookies to Operation Cookie Share as well. So there is no minimum order to place an order on ABC Bakers, and this is a great contactless, touchless payment form where all orders are paid via credit card, so a girl does not have to worry about any physical money. So direct ship orders are going to be ideal for our out-of-town family and friends. This is also a good option for anyone that the Girl Scout may not feel comfortable delivering to. We just talked a little bit about social media, and it is a great thing, but sometimes when posts get shared after share after share, they may end up, someone from Wyoming says, oh, this looks like I'm going to support this girl's cookie program. A girl from Illinois most likely would not be able to deliver to Wyoming. So that is a great way. The girl still gets the support. The customer can still support the girl she prefers, but she will get the cookies shipped to her. So the cookies are delivered via FedEx. We do offer a subsidized shipping program for our online customers. So this does help us to offset some of the costs that our customers incur when placing a direct ship order. I do want to note that this year, the minimum to qualify for the subsidized shipping program has gone up. So it is now 9 boxes this year. That was determined by ABC Bakers and their shipping guidelines in effort with FedEx as well. But now 1 to 8 boxes will not qualify for subsidized shipping, but 9 to 12 boxes will. So you can see the price breakdown on the screen here. Our council does pick up the subsidized shipping costs, so that is nice for our customers who order 9 or more boxes, that we are able to help them a little bit with that shipping. But you can also see where it would be rather expensive for a troop to order any sort of direct ship cookies themselves. So we want to encourage direct ship, but I also understand we all pay for shipping dearly wherever we're ordering from now. And unfortunately, it has gone up a bit for cookies as well. So Jennifer asked, can customers place girl delivery orders online starting December 12th? And yes, they can. Those cookies will not be delivered until February 3rd, and customers are made aware of that. So when shopping for girl delivery, they'll be thanked for their order and they'll be informed that cookies will be available for you on February 3rd. So these online orders prior to the initial order date, you can actually help and place a troop initial order for any girl delivery orders. So that way, once the girls receive those cookies, they can go ahead and fulfill any of those early orders. So yes, girl delivery orders can start on December 12th. If a customer orders for direct ship, December 12th or later, they will receive their cookies as soon as their order is processed because those are shipped directly from the baker. But anything involving the girl will wait until February 3rd. All direct ship orders automatically move to the girl sales tab. So there is very little work on the troop leader or parent's part with direct ship order. It all automatically transfers over to the girl smart cookies. If a customer or leader needs help with a direct ship order, there's very little that I can see from the council side. I can see the customer information and maybe the order number. But as far as the status of an order or things like that, we really want to direct our questions to ABC Smart Cookie Direct at hearthsidefoods.com. So that is a new email from years prior. Since the merger with Hearthside Foods, they are working to update their emails. So you will want to make sure if we're talking direct ship that we use ABC Smart Cookie Direct at hearthsidefoods.com. Girl delivery is, again, a customer will shop online, pay with a credit card, and then the girl will deliver cookies to that customer. So this is great for our local family and friends, neighbors, teachers, anyone local that the girl feels comfortable delivering to. So the parent will receive an email to either approve or decline the order. There is a 5-day window where the parent will need to approve or decline the order. And if it's not approved or declined in that window, then the order is canceled and the customer is notified. The order can only be approved via the email. So each year we're asked, can I do that in Smart Cookies? And unfortunately, there is not the capability in Smart Cookies for a parent to approve or decline a girl delivery order. It has to be done via that email. So we do want to make sure that we encourage our parents to save ABC Smart Cookies as a safe sender. So that way they will easily get those emails and can approve or decline that order. This does give parents some safety as well when we are, again, talking about social media and share after share, and that customer from Wyoming places a girl delivery order. The parent can easily decline that order because they're not going to be going to Wyoming. Once the parent does approve an order, then the girl will deliver the cookies to the customer. Now, troops really can decide how to do this 2 different ways. They can either give their girls a predetermined amount of cookies to use as inventory and make deliveries from, or troops can assign girls cookies on an order by order basis. So a girl will come and say, I need 4 boxes of this and that. You'll give them that, transfer them in Smart Cookies, and they're good to go. So that's really up to a troop leader. So if you place your troop's initial order by girl, those will automatically transfer over to the girl. So we want to make sure we don't double transfer those. But if you also know, as a troop, if you order 100 boxes and you give each of your girls 20 and go ahead and assign them those cookies in Smart Cookie, then you don't need to take any further action with a girl delivery. Otherwise, if that girl comes to you and says, I need 4 boxes of Thin Mints for this order, and you give them to her, you'll need to do a troop to girl transfer that we'll take a look at in a few minutes and give her the credit for those cookies as well as the financial responsibility for those cookies, because that will be offset by the online payment. So the Girl Order Detail Summary Report will be a really handy reference for our troop leaders to save in their Smart Cookie system, because it will capture all of the different online orders so that a volunteer can take a look at a glance and see how their troop is doing, or if there's a question about an order, they can easily reference that report. A troop leader can also mimic their Girl Scouts. They will go to the top left-hand corner where there's the person icon, and then they will choose Mimic Girl Scout, and then go to their Manage My Order page. So a couple different ways that our troops can reference girl reports in case they have any questions about how their sale is going. Any questions about the girl side of Smart Cookies? Check in the chat box. We look pretty clear. All right. So our volunteer emails will arrive a week prior to our Girl Scout emails on December 5th, 2022. So our leaders will receive a welcome email on December 5th, 2022. We do want to make sure that our leaders check their junk, spam, or promotions folder. I know a lot of my emails from things like this end up in my Gmail promotions folder. Our leaders will need a valid email address, and they will create their own password. They'll follow the prompts in the email, and then their account will be good to go. We do recommend going ahead and bookmarking abcsmartcookies.com, so that way you can easily refer back to the website. And for our leaders, your username will be your email address. So for those of you that wear the hat of volunteer and parent, when you're volunteering, you'll use your email, and when you're working with your daughter, you'll use her username. Speaking of hats, I know many of you wear multiple volunteer hats for us, especially during the cookie program. You're not only a troop leader, you're also a service unit coordinator. Some of you are also a cupboard manager for us as well. So that does mean that you will have several different user accounts in your Smart Cookie login. So once you put in your username and password, you'll see this screen, and you'll choose whichever account you're needing to access. So if your troop leader hat is on and you need to go assign cookies to girls, you'll go to your troop leader or troop manager site. Once you click the troop option and click apply, then you'll be have access to your troop dashboard. Once you take care of whatever you need to in your troop, maybe somebody calls and they have a question about something in the service unit. You can navigate to that person icon that just was circled there in pink, and the switch user option will then allow you to switch to the service unit user or the cupboard side, whatever you may need to toggle between. That icon is also where you will click to mimic a Girl Scout from the troop dashboard as well. So the My Troop tab is a helpful tab for us. It is one of the first tabs in Smart Cookies after the dashboard. And so I wanted to real quick touch base on the different options of the My Troop tab, including the goals and online activities. So that is where troops will go to set their troop goals and take a look at what their girls are doing online. The troop roster is one of the big things we'll encourage our troops to check on December 5th when they log in. Go to your troop roster and make sure that all of your girls are present. If they're not, let our customer care team know and we'll get them uploaded right away. The troop information tab is where a troop will go to opt out of the reward program. That's also where the troop ship only link for direct ship orders exists. And that's also where the troop cookie link for virtual booths lives as well. So troop information is also going to be important when we talk about the national cookie locator and entering your zip code. And so that is where troop information is where you'll make sure your zip code is listed. Troop user management gives a leader the option to add additional users. Maybe a parent has stepped up to help and they need access to the system. A troop user can add a new troop user for that particular troop. Troop messages can be used to message other users in the troop or their Girl Scouts as well. Troops can also set tasks and view the important dates on a calendar as well. So taking a look really quick at some of the common smart cookie actions that our troops will be using and as volunteers will be using includes transfers, placing a planned order, booth sales, whether that is entering a troop secured booth, so a location that you have found on your own, or you are going to reserve a booth location the council has secured. Booth sales will be a common smart cookie action. Also, mimicking girls will be a common action for some of our leaders as well. So we're going to look at transfers more specifically, and then planned orders and booth sales as well. So troop to girl transfers are going to be the most common transfer that we're working with. This is how troops will assign cookies from their inventory to the girls' inventory. This is also how girls receive financial responsibility for cookies. So we want to make sure if they are picking up cookies that we are transferring a troop to girl transfer of that cookie amount to them. So that way their finances are all in order. So if a girl is picking up cookies for orders of an in-person sale or to go door to door, we're going to want to put those cookies in the participation column of the troop to girl transfer, because that assigns both cookie credit, so for rewards, as well as financial responsibility. If we want to give girls cookie credit from a booth, but we don't want to give them the financial responsibility for those cookies because they sold troop inventory, we'll use the booth column. So they will get credit for those cookies, and that will work towards their rewards, but they will not be charged for the cookies they sold at the booth. Troop to troop transfers are also fairly common when troops are swapping cookies or selling cookies to one another. A troop to troop transfer will transfer the cookies and the financial responsibility from one troop's inventory to another. Girl to troop is not a highly recommended transfer because we, as troops, we should not be taking cookies back from girls. By now, hopefully our troops are used to the fact that we do not take cookies as a council back from our troops. So our troops should not take cookies back from our girls. We do know that there are those rare cases that happen where we do need to transfer cookies back from a girl to a troop. So that's why it is an option, but I wanted to stress it's not a recommended option. And girl to girl will happen sometimes as well when a girl may sell or swap cookies with another girl in her troop. So any questions about transfers? I think our chat box is clear. All right, here we go. So the initial order will be due January 9th by 11 p.m. in the Smart Cookie system. So we're going to take a nice deep dive into the initial order now. So typically, our troops, as we know from working with them, have two concerns when it comes to placing an initial order. Some may not even know where to start or how many cookies they should order, and all of the troops are worried about ordering too many cookies. So we do, as a council, have a pretty solid recommendation that won't lead a troop astray, and that would be to either order up to 75% of last year's total sales without exceeding a 200 box per girl average, or ordering up to 75% of their last year's per girl average, again, not exceeding 200 boxes per girl. So what this does is it means that a troop will have 3/4 of all of the cookies they sold the year before on hand, ready to go for booth sales, the beginning of the cookie program, and really to get everything going. So we don't want to exceed that 200 box per girl average, so we're not overwhelming our troops, but that 75% is a nice safe area where you will have cookies on hand, but your troop is not overwhelmed with inventory or taking too big of a risk. So when a troop follows those recommendations, inventory and sales success is much more likely. We do know that if a troop does not place an initial order or places a low initial order and runs out of cookies, that means that they are missing sale opportunities. So girls could sell up to 40% more in a troop that places an initial order, which means they're reaching their goals more effectively. And that also means that troops are earning more troop profit. Our customers remember where girls are. It's not uncommon for a customer to call our council and say, hey, there's usually girls at such and such place. Why aren't they here this year? And so if we have cookies on hand when those customers are looking, they're going to be more satisfied and they're going to return again for more sales. So this recommendation is a really good starting point. We do know that it can be hard to estimate those things. So as a council, we do have estimate spreadsheets for the initial order. We have one spreadsheet for existing troops, where troops can use their last year sales or last year per girl average to estimate their initial order. We also have a spreadsheet for our new troops that uses the number of girls selling and their age level. So those spreadsheets will be available in the cookie form section of the website, and also in the Troop Cookie Coordinator Guide if a leader would prefer to do that estimate by hand. So I know we've touched on it a couple times. When we sat down with ABC bakers this summer, one of the first questions Kelly and I wanted to ask them was, what is going to change for 2023? What can we expect when it comes to delivery? And they are going to do the best that they can, but they are, worried and foreseeing possible delivery issues. And so we, after having experienced what we did last year as a council, I know what we experienced was not always the most pleasant or the easiest thing to deal with. I know that it was a very stressful experience. And so we really, as a council, want to make sure we're doing everything we can to make that a smoother process for everyone. And so an initial order is going to be more important than ever before. And to respond to that, we know that we've heard when we've asked why doesn't a troop place an order? Many times the answer is because they're worried about having the money in their bank account for that first ACH. And so in response to that, we did adjust that first ACH to try to help offset that stress just a little bit with an extra week of sales. So what we want to make sure we're communicating with our troops is that if they plan to have cookies for February 3rd, that weekend, for booth sales in the first couple of weeks, they will need to place a planned order or an initial order. We will have cookies at our local cupboards, but in the past, when we have had troops who come in and place extremely large 80, 100 case or walk-in orders, that depletes the inventory not only for future planned orders, but for future walk-in orders as well. So we want to make sure if a troop wants guaranteed cookies that they are placing an initial and a planned order. So as the gatekeepers for your service unit, as our core group of volunteers, this stress on the importance of the initial order is going to be important. We really want to make sure that our troops are equipped and have the cookies that they need when they need them for the beginning of the sale. So I saw a question pop up here. Will leaders be able to see girl orders and smart cookies to make sure girls are ordering enough for their initial order? Yes. So Jennifer, leaders will be able to see all of their girl orders. They'll have access a week before the girls to Smart Cookie, and they can use that either the mobile e-card summary or the girl order detail summary report in Smart Cookie to see what kind of online orders we'll need help with or will need filled, and add that to the initial order. So as a reminder, when troops are looking at that, they're going to want to make sure they're looking at girl delivery orders only, because anything direct ship will be shipped out prior to once their order is processed. So leaders will be able to see in Smart Cookies what their girl delivery online orders look like in order to add those sales to their initial order. That was a good question. So any other questions before we take about the initial order, before we take a look at how to place an initial order? All righty. So this is what the initial order screen will look like. A troop can place their initial order in one of two ways. They can place their order by girl. So here on the screen, you see I have my 3 Girl Scouts listed here. If I click on the arrow next to her name, then you see the breakout of the boxes here, and I can enter the number of packages she needs, whether it's from the initial order on the bottom of her signed parent permission form, or if it is from her online girl delivery orders, you can enter those by girl. So if you place your initial order by girl, then those cookies that you entered by girl will transfer to each girl. So we want to make sure, sometimes we've seen troops who duplicate that transfer. If you enter your order in by girl, it will automatically transfer. A troop also may just want to go ahead and just order a bulk of cookies. So a troop could place an order on the booth line and then distribute those cookies later to each of their Girl Scouts with a troop to girl transfer. So in that booth line, it's similar to the girls. You'll drop down that arrow and enter each of the varieties that your troop wants to order initially. The one thing I want to note, and that we want to make sure we share with our leaders, that is that the initial order will round up to the nearest case for delivery. So they will see those in the extra line on their initial order. So you can see here, I have my orders for my 3 Girl Scouts, and that means then I have an extra 21 packages. So I can actually drill down to see how that is dispersed between varieties. Those extra cookies can be used for booths or for troop cookie inventory to be transferred to girls as needed. If a troop does not want to deal with this extras line, they can always just make sure that they are ordering in multiples of 12, since there are 12 boxes in a case for delivery. Once a leader has entered and reviewed their order, they can toggle the ready for review, and then they will want to click save. Once they click save, then they'll be prompted to select a delivery location. And even if there's only one option, you still do have to click the location, then choose a delivery date, and then a delivery time. And so this is where, once I have your delivery locations from you by December 19th, I will turn those around to our warehouse. Once I have those approved with the warehouse, I'll enter them in Smart Cookies, so troops are ready to place their planned order. Planned orders will open on January 1st as well. I want to mention that in speaking with Reggie yesterday, he did tell me that January 1st, so you'll have access to Smart Cookies December 5th, and then the initial order will open on January 1st. So it is really important. Everyone is running a cookie business. Troops are running a troop level business and want to run out of inventory. Girls are running a business and want to run out of inventory. So our goal is to have all of our cookies sold by March 19th. It does require, as many of us who are veterans know, it does require good inventory management practices to keep track of troop cookie inventory. We highly recommend using Smart Cookies because it is the Baker provided inventory system, but I also understand some leaders keep track of things outside, but either way, you want to make sure that you know what's going on with your troops inventory. So for those leaders who might be new in your service unit, might be nervous about placing an initial order, how am I going to move these cookies? How do I manage my inventory? We do have good inventory management resources on our website, and our council is always here to help. Whether that leader reaches out to their membership engagement coordinator, talks to their program person, or reaches out to me on the product sales team, all of us are happy to work with the leader on determining how they can manage their inventory. I think I saw a question pop up here. Okay, thank you for letting me know about that delivery site, Jessica. So here are some tips that we can offer to our leaders as we're talking about inventory management. First of all, we can make sure that we're ordering only on commitments from parents. So when a troop leader sends out that midweek text asking for everyone's cookie order and Susie's mom does not respond, don't order Susie any cookies, because then you could be potentially left with product. We always want to make sure parents are signing a receipt when they take possession of cookies, and that receipt is filed. So in case of an outstanding balance, we have that information. We want to make sure to stress to our leaders to not allow parents to return cookies. I know that can be difficult and hard to say no, but we don't want to put the troop in a situation because they've taken back cookies that the council will not take back from them. Customer demand is the greatest during the first 2 weeks of our program. We do know that it drops beginning week 3. To really prove that, we have 6 planned order weeks, and 3/4 of all of our planned orders are in week 1 and 2. So really, customer demand is high, the buzz around cookies is high, and then customers get their cookie fix and things start to slow down just a little bit. We do want to make sure that troops are staying current with their inventory and that they are allowing demand and no other outside factors, whether that be a reward, a certain amount of profit, that kind of thing. We want to make sure that customer demand is what is driving our troop orders. And then, of course, we encourage troops to utilize the planned order opportunities that we offer each of the weeks of our 6-week program. A troop does not need to order all 6 weeks. They could order week 1 and not again till week 4. They could order all 6 weeks. They could wait till week 3, whatever works for them. They are not committed to future orders when they place an order for 1 week. So we do want to make sure that they are utilizing those planned orders as needed. All right, Linda, I see your message there, and yes, we can absolutely talk post-training to discuss how we want that delivery site set up. So once the initial order is placed, then we all get to catch our breath for a brief moment, and then the cookies will begin to be available beginning January 27th. So as we are discussing our deliveries, and we talked about securing that delivery date or delivery location by December 19th, delivery will be available Friday, January 27th, and then Monday, January 30th through Thursday, February 2nd. That way, all deliveries are completed by Thursday, February 2nd, so that when the sale goes live on Friday, February 3rd, ideally all of our troops and girls have the cookies that they need. So this is a slide more for our troop leaders, but I did want to show you that we do encourage them to work with you to get cookies and volunteer with them. We also encourage them to make sure to bring a vehicle large enough. I know many of our service unit delivery sites simply cannot facilitate a troop coming once, picking up half their order, and then coming back later on in the day and picking up the other half. So we want to make sure that we are talking to our troop leaders about vehicle size, cleaning out their vehicles before they show up, and also maybe bringing multiple vehicles to your drive up. I mean, I've seen trailers backed up for cookies. I've seen all kinds of things. Fill one van, next van rotates in, but we want to make sure that a troop picks up their cookies all at one time. We want the troop leader to help the service unit or volunteer at the delivery site to load their own vehicle. We also encourage troops to help you, our service unit coordinators. A lot of times you are great and work with those leaders and let them pick up their orders early if they help, but we really want to make sure that they are offering help because we know it is a huge undertaking with all of those cookies. This is also when the leaders will be signing and submitting a troop coordinator agreement form at the delivery site. That's also where we will have the order cards, and staff will also bring extra envelopes and receipt books in case a troop would like to pick up any additional. So cookie delivery will be a key piece. And then once we get through delivery week, then we are ready to go into the direct sale. So before we talk about the direct sale, I know we had a couple questions pop up that I addressed, but I didn't know if anyone had any questions. All righty. So our planned orders are orders that we offer once a week that supplies additional troop inventory needs. What is nice about a planned order is it does not have to be placed by the case. So leaders can actually place that order by the box, and it can get down to the box. And so that is nice for them because as they are looking to close out their sale, they may not want the entire responsibility of a whole case of cookies. So they can absolutely order down to the box. There are 6 total planned orders, 1 per week. The first planned order will be due February 5th. The last planned order will be due March 12th. We do want to make sure that our volunteers are choosing the appropriate location, whether they, some troops have multiple areas that they could pick up at. And then our cookie cupboards are either express or full service cupboards. And so we'll take a look at that here. I did see a question pop up. Yes, just some verification that it is a good idea to have the troops pick up all at one time. So our full service cupboards are our offices in Bloomington, Decatur, Peoria, and Springfield. Those service centers will be open January 28th through March 28th for cupboard walk-in orders or swaps. In Champaign, our full service cupboard is based out of the Hutchcraft warehouse in Urbana. We do encourage our troop leaders in the Champaign area to contact their local Champaign staff for hours of operation. That way they know which days the warehouse is open and when they are, and the hours in which they are open. So no one is spending time traveling and the cupboard might not be open. In Quincy, our full service cupboard is run out of Quincy storage. Again, I encourage Quincy leaders to reach out to their local staff for hours of operation, but that is open for both walk-in orders as well as trade outs or swaps. So those cupboards will be what is considered full service. There will be cookies there. That may be where you pick up your planned orders, but that's also where a troop can go to pick up their walk-in orders or to swap out a variety. We will have extended service center cookie hours. So Fridays, February 10th, 17th, and 24th, our service centers will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on the first Saturday in February, February 4th, and the first Saturday in March, March 4th, when the service center boutiques are open in Bloomington, Peoria, and Springfield, the cookie cupboard will also be open from 9:30 to 1. Our express cupboards are maintained by many of you, our volunteers. In most cases, the cookies arrive on Fridays. There is a Quincy Express cupboard that does receive their cookies on Thursdays. The cupboard manager will work with the troop leaders to pick up or schedule pickup with those troops. Once the express cupboard cookies have been picked up, then that cupboard is considered closed. Most often, these express cupboards won't have extra cookies for walk-in orders or swaps. So that is purely just a way to get cookies closer to the volunteers in that area, but it cannot support walk-in orders or swaps. So the express cupboards in our council are open anywhere from just the first week to the first 3 weeks of our 6 planned order weeks. Starting week 4, then the cookies will be delivered to the troops' nearest service center or delivery site. So for example, in Bloomington to the Bloomington Service Center, in Champaign to the Hutchcraft warehouse, or in Quincy to the Quincy storage warehouse. So with our planned orders, we will order on an as-needed basis. So we need troops to tell us what they need so that we can place a planned order. So ABC did let us know that their delivery standard has changed just a bit. And so that could potentially change what our planned order delivery will look like. So I wanted to share again our core group of volunteers, what this is going to look like and how we can address that. So if our council planned order is 20 pallets or more, the order could take up to 5 days, or excuse me, 5 business days to arrive at our warehouses. Then from there, they will need to be broken down into their individual orders and sent to the appropriate cupboard or full service or express cupboard. So if our council planned order is less than 20 pallets, the order could take up to 8 business days to arrive at the warehouse and then again be prepared for distribution. So we understand that this is kind of scary to be thinking about, and it's not the window of time that we are used to. So to help with that, we are, as a council, bringing in a significant amount of cookies, more than we have ever brought in before, to our regional cupboards and our warehouses initially. So that way we can possibly help to alleviate any potential issues in the first couple or first few planned order weeks. So our hope is by bringing in this large amount of cookies, part of that will be used for initial order, but the remaining balance can be used to fill our planned orders. So our hopes is by bringing in this large amount of cookies, we will be able to help alleviate any issues the first couple of weeks. This change could impact the later planned order weeks, depending on our council inventory. So that is where, we really do need those planned orders instead of walk-in orders, because that helps us to plan our inventory. So that the cookies we're bringing in will help with the first couple of weeks, but we did want to make our volunteers, and we will make our troop leaders, aware as well that delivery after the first couple weeks could look a little bit different. And so we will do everything we can. ABC will do everything they can to get the cookies earlier. I wanted to just set these expectations because if we get the cookies earlier, that's going to be fantastic news. But I don't want our troops and our volunteers to count on that. So I just wanted to prepare everyone for possibly a different delivery schedule model than we've had in the past. So that's also another point to where that initial order is so important, because we want to make sure that everyone has cookies when that sale goes live. So I know I've seen a couple questions pop up here, so let's take a second to take any questions about this. So Jessica asks, if we have bad weather like this past year and a leader decides to go to Champaign to pick up theirs. Jessica, I will actually take this question specifically offline. If you don't mind shooting me that via email, then I can help answer that for you. So Julie asks, would you recommend getting cookies for later booths up front? And Kelly, if you're still on the call, I may tap you in to help me with this, just to make sure that we are giving the appropriate answer.
Sure, you bet. I would encourage, if you are an experienced leader and you can look at your past orders and you are confident and your parents are comfortable, I would highly recommend that you bring in what you think you're going to sell if possible. I do think later in the sale, when we get into that week 4, week 5, we can very well experience the delivery delays that Emma is talking about, which if you look at 8 business days from the time Emma places the order on Monday, people could be waiting for cookies for a long time. So if you, again, are an experienced leader and you're confident with the quantities that you feel that you need, I would definitely order them on the initial order or in that first or second planned order.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. And Julie, I do agree. I would hate for a late booth to not get their cookies due to a shipping delay. So again, if you have that experience, if you have the background of this is where we typically sell and this is how much or a ballpark, it would be a good idea to bring those in up front. I mean, in fact, that's pretty much the same model that Kelly and I use in making a decision and bringing in what we are bringing in is what can we do and what can we safely bring in but extra, just to make sure that we can help those, with initial order and the first few planned order weeks. So I would recommend, and that's where placing an initial order is going to be vital. And so I am hoping that as our service unit coordinators, you can really help me to spread that message. Our staff has received the same message, but the more people that our leaders are hearing from, placing initial orders, placing planned orders, the more I think they will really understand. I mean, they can listen to me till I'm blue in the face, but the more people that are close to them and more similar to them, it just makes sense. So I would recommend, if our veteran troops know what they use for later booths, to bring those in up front. And that's why we are encouraging our troops to place these planned orders and the initial order.
Emma, I just have one more comment too.
Yes.
I would encourage all of you, especially Marcia. I mean, Marcia's done this for a long time. She's been through a lot of cookie sales with us. Be a resource to those new leaders and help them in your service unit cookie role, to help coach them so they're a little bit more comfortable too. And especially if they just need to call and walk through their first planned order with you to make sure it's not too much. Am I going to be able to sell these? I mean, I've had troop leaders call me before and say, is 100 boxes, I feel like that's a lot for each girl in my troop. You're probably going to sell, they're probably all going to sell 100 boxes quickly. So we don't want troops to get stuck with a lot of cookies at the end, but we want you to have enough cookies to sell throughout the program. But I would ask all of you that are experienced and have done this for a while to be a resource to those troop leaders.
Absolutely. That's a very, very good point. All right, I think our chat box is clear. Kelly, I really appreciate you helping me answer those questions, and very good questions too from our coordinators. I do appreciate that. If we have more that pop up as we go along, don't hesitate to pop those in the chat box. I did really quickly just want to show you the step-by-step process that a leader will go through to place a planned order. They're logged into their troop dashboard. They'll hover over orders and choose planned order. That will pop up their cupboard options. Depending upon their location, they may have a couple different options. They may just have one option. They'll pick whichever is most convenient for them. It can be switched around from week to week, and it can depend on weather and things. We just need to know to give the troops the right cupboard access. Once you've chosen your location, then you'll pick a date and a time, and then you will enter your troops planned order and click save. And then from there, that will be submitted to us. We'll submit it to ABC, and then in 5 to 8 business days, if we need to order the cookies, they'll arrive. If not, we'll get the planned orders turned around as soon as we can from the inventory that we are bringing in. So that brings us then, we've delivered the cookies, we're ordering additional cookies as our inventory dictates that. Now we're ready to get ready to move that product, and one of the best ways to do that is with a cookie booth. So Jennifer asked, by chance, did Smart Cookies develop a way for girls to submit cookie orders to leaders within Smart Cookies this year? No, Jennifer, I have not been notified of that, that update to the system. In fact, the system is going to be pretty status quo from last year. So cookie booths are a great way for troops to share their cookie goals. It's a great place to talk about Operation Cookie Share, or to talk about what their troops' plan is for their cookies. We do, as a council, work with locations in our regional areas to offer booths for our troops, but we also encourage our troops to secure their own. So we all have those little hidden gems, especially in our smaller communities, where it may not be in everyone's public eye, but if you live in this community, it's a popular place. Places like that are a great area to set up your troops cookie booth, and be indoor or outdoor, and getting cookie sales and donations to Operation Cookie Share. So girls and troops can begin their booth sales on February 3rd when the direct sale goes live. GSUSA has secured a national agreement with GNC. We were just notified yesterday that there is a national agreement. Now we are just waiting on a list of contacts to request booth opportunities. So as soon as I have that list, I'll be reaching out to GNC regional managers in our communities to see if they will allow us to host booths. If so, that will be a location that can be found as a booth opportunity in Smart Cookie. GSUSA has also secured a national agreement, again, with Walmart and Sam's Club, but Walmart booth opportunities are changing just a bit. So we're going to talk about that on the next slide. I did also want to let you know that I am reaching out to our Kroger and Tractor Supply stores, as well as some Dunkin' Donut stores in our communities for booth opportunities as well. So these regional stores have agreements with our GSUSA team, and we have to contact regional managers. So I have started the process of reaching out to those managers to see about cookie booths in their location. So we will do our best to secure council-sponsored booth sites, so that way troops have opportunities in and around their communities to sell their cookies. So as I mentioned, GSUSA did reach a national agreement with Walmart and Sam's Club stores. Sam's Club stores are going to operate the same as they have every year. A leader will be welcome to contact their local Sam's Club manager to reserve a booth time. We do want to make sure that when talking to our troops, that we remind them that one of the things we talk about from very early on in Girl Scouts is being a sister to every Girl Scout. And that does mean not taking every single booth opportunity at a certain location. So we do want to make sure that our troops are not going and reserving every single weekend of the cookie program at their Sam's Club. There are other troops in your area, other opportunities as well. So we want to make sure that our troops are giving each other an opportunity at these stores. So Walmart booth opportunities have changed from previous years. So leaders will not be able to walk into Walmart and work with the manager and request a booth. They will be hosted on Smart Cookie this year. And that is because Walmart has tightened the timeline that they are offering booths for our troops. So we can request 4 weekends plus 2 additional days to host cookies at our Walmart stores. I will make that request when it opens on December 1st, and then it will be up to each regional Walmart to approve or decline that request. So I am hoping that these dates will be approved. These are the dates that we are going to try to move forward with, but there is an asterisk here upon approval from the Walmart stores. So I will be requesting the weekend of Friday, February 3rd through Sunday, February 5th. The following weekend, the 10th through the 12th, is blacked out. I am not able to request that date because Walmart is blacking out that date to all volunteer organizations due to Super Bowl traffic. So we will resume Walmart booths on Friday, February 17th through the 19th. I will request President's Day, February 20th. Then we'll go back to weekends on February 24th through the 26th, March 3rd through the 5th, and Saturday, March 11th. So still plenty of opportunities, but this will be something then that outside of that window above, booths will not be allowed. So I know that that is not the entire program, but it is 4 out of the 6 weekends, which I consider a win, and better than nothing. But it is going to be an adjustment for our troops. So with this, I will be moving all of our regional Walmart booths. We have 35 Walmart stores within our council borders. I will be putting, if all 35 approve our requests, I will be putting 35 Walmarts into the Smart Cookie booth scheduler for troops to schedule. I will be marking them as premium, so that when a troop signs up during the booth sign up window that we'll talk about here in a minute, they will be able to sign up for one Walmart slot, and then when open reservation begins, troops can sign up for as many other additional Walmart booths as they prefer. So I know that this is a huge change, just like the planned orders that we discussed. I do see a few questions in the chat box, so let's take a look. So Julie asked, will Walmart locations be in the booth scheduler if approved? Yes, they will. So that is going to be the nice part, is that nobody can schedule over each other like sometimes would happen at Walmart's. It's really going to be a nice option to be in the booth scheduler this year. Jessica Hatcher asked, our Walmart is strict. We have to go to City Hall. Okay, so you still may need to do that process, Jessica, but I will still request at the Walmart in your location. So again, I know that this is a change, but this is something that the entire nation is doing. This is a part of the national agreement between GSUSA and Walmart. So it is not just our council. This is an adjustment for each of our councils in the nation. So I wanted to make you aware. I know our troops may have a hard time accepting this, but I am happy that we can offer as much time as we are able to, instead of nothing at all or a shorter window of time. So the smart booth divider function is is one way that troops can give credit to their girls for booth sales. In order to use the booth divider, the booth sale does need to be entered into Smart Cookie beforehand. So you will want to be entering your your booths beforehand, so you can appear on the cookie locator so that customers can find you, and also so that, again, you can add those booth sales at the end. So once you've completed that booth, you'll just enter the number of cookies you sold by variety. You'll check the box next to each girl who participated and then click distribute. If all the girls were there at an equal amount of time, you can just click submit. If there's an odd number of cookies to distribute, there may be some adjusting you need to do, or little cookies added here and there. You also may, if a girl is a 4-hour shift, one girl was there for 4 hours, another girl stayed for 2, you may want to adjust that distribution a bit as well, given that one was there for a longer time. But that's completely up to the troop leader. You can readjust that distribution and then click submit. A troop can also use a troop to girl transfer in the booth column to give girls credit for booth sales as well. We do want to make sure that we are stressing to our troops that it is important for them to be using the troop to girl transfer, assigning credit to girls in the system, because that really helps our finance team. The Smart Cookie system is only can only manage the inventory that we enter in the system. So if we are not transferring to girls, if we are not entering cookies, then our finances will get messed up, your inventory will get messed up. So we want to make sure that we are transferring these cookies to girls so that they have the proper finances and so that they have all of the rewards that they are supposed to earn as well. So the Smart Cookie booth scheduler are the locations that our council has secured, and we will enter those in the scheduler that will open at 9 a.m. on Friday, January 13th. So the January 13th through 15th window is first come, first serve reservation. Each troop gets 2 booths, one premium, AKA Walmart, and one non-premium booth, which would be most of our other locations. After that window, open reservations will begin on January 16th, and troops can go back in to sign up for additional Walmart booths, as well as additional other council secured booths as desired. So there won't be a limit on premium or non-premium after the 16th, but in that 13th through 15th window, each troop can have one premium, one non-premium booth. As a reminder, troops are not limited to council secured booths. In fact, we encourage troops to add their own booth locations. And we want to make sure that we are using smart cookies and the booth scheduler. So that way your booth location will show up on the National Cookie Locator. So if customers, and my dad has told me this works, he has done this himself. He has gone to Google and typed in cookies around me. He might go to our website the next time if I tell him, but if a customer goes to our website or Google, they're directed to the National Cookie Locator. They type in their zip code and press go, and a list of available places to get cookies, whether it be a booth or a different location, will pop up for the customer to then make a decision and say, I think I'll stop by the troop that's at Hy-Vee and I'm going to order cookies from them. So our cookie finder is used. Thousands of customers use our cookie locator each year to see where girls in our council are selling cookies. So entering your booths before you host them in Smart Cookie is actually a free marketing tool for you as well, because you will automatically appear on this list, and then customers who are looking for cookies in your area will know where to find you. So we really want to make sure that troops are adding their booths to Smart Cookie. So we do want to make sure also that our troops are considering booth safety. And we want to make sure that we are only hosting booths at locations where our Girl Scouts are welcome. So if there is a business where girls at a certain age are not allowed, we don't want them to be out there selling cookies if they are not welcome. So if there's a location where girls are not allowed to enter because of their age, please do not consider boothing in front of that location. For example, if there is an establishment that only allows patrons to enter if they are 18 or older, a troop of brownies and daisies should not be hosting a booth at this location. I didn't want to necessarily spell it out on the slide, but it has come up about dispensaries. And as we may know, you have to be 21 or older to go into a dispensary. So girls should absolutely not be outside of that dispensary. They can be down the street, they can be across the street, but we do not want them in front of a bar or a dispensary or anywhere where they are not welcome, simply because they shouldn't be welcome then on the outside of that business either. So that does come up every year. Just like there's not enough of us staff to be the social media police, we can also not be the booth police. So we really need to all work together to make sure that we're helping. And sometimes, again, it's an honest mistake. I wasn't aware of the rules. That's why I'm trying to make sure we absolutely touch on it. But we want to make sure that we are keeping our girls safe and hosting our booths in appropriate locations. Drive-through booths are also an opportunity for our troops. Since the days of COVID, some of our stores have shut their doors to troops having booths. So girls are actually seeing success with drive-through booths where a troop can host what's called a virtual booth. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. And then they can have a customer drive up to them after placing an order online to pick up their cookies. So this location would be added to Smart Cookies as what's called a virtual booth. And then customers would come and pick up their cookies. So we also have a video on this drive-through idea as well, but it is an option in, a community center parking lot, a library, or a church parking lot, somewhere that the girls are safe, but that customers can come to them. So Julie asks, if we want people to pre-order with a virtual booth and you have a walk-up booth, you still need to enter that booth twice, correct? Yes, Julie, that is correct. So you'll enter one and you'll check the virtual booth box. And so that will allow then customers to pay online and order from you. But if you also want the ability to take walk-up orders, you will want to enter that booth a second time in order, without checking the virtual booth option, in order to accept credit cards. So yes, creating a virtual booth is not necessarily the only way to use a credit card. If a Troop user at a booth is using their iPhone and their Safari app to log into Smart Cookie, they can use the Smart Cookie app to scan a credit card. Otherwise, yes, virtual booth is the only way to use a credit card. Good questions, Julie. Thank you. Any other questions before we take a look at National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend and some of the benefits of that weekend? All right, we had a question pop up in the chat. Yes, Jennifer, you can use a credit card for any booth. If you want to scan it, you have to be using the iPhone with the Safari account. Otherwise, you can enter the credit card information by hand at any booth. All righty. So National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend is always predetermined by GSUSA, and it's a great time mid-part of our sale to gain a little bit extra momentum and celebrate the Girl Scout Cookie program. Yes, Julie, it does get complicated because then that credit goes to a specific girl. So it can be tricky. And again, that's where each troop can kind of choose how they decide to run their troop and their credit cards as well. So for National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend, the National Cookie Locator link also starts to step up its game. So beginning February 17th, not only will a customer see all of the booth opportunities in their area when they search by zip code on the National Cookie Locator, but they will also see a list of troops in their area providing a ship-only link or direct ship link for customers to shop via that cookie locator link. So this will be available beginning February 17th. It is zip code traceable. So again, in that troop information tab in Smart Cookie, you'll want to make sure that your troop's zip code is listed in troop information. Troop links will rotate based on an algorithm that GSUSA created. So when a customer visits their 61761, they will see all of the booths as well as a troop in their area that's offering direct ship cookies. Customers are offered direct ship only, so there isn't an impact on troop inventory cookies, and there's also no delivery required from the troop. So this is a nice benefit. Really, the only work you need to do is enter your zip code, and then this part of the sale runs itself. The only other thing that you'll need to do towards the end of the program is assign any of those troop ship only link sales to girls in your troop, just like you would a booth. So in order to be included in that algorithm, you do need to make sure your zip code is listed in the My Troop information. You'll also want to toggle yes under the Publish Troops Direct Ship link to GSUSA. So that's a secondary check to make sure. I believe the default is for yes. So if you forget to toggle it, you should be fine. Otherwise, if you don't as a troop, if you don't want to be included in this, then you would toggle that option to no. Then all you'll need to do is share that link via email, social media appropriately, or by text by copying that URL and then sharing it however you see fit. Those orders are paid by credit card and automatically shipped to the customer from ABC's distribution center. So all you need to do is assign those to your girls. The best practice or a promising practice that GSUSA provided for us is to recommend to wait till near the end of the season. That way you can assign all of those direct ship cookies at one time. Otherwise, you may have to remember, did I already assign Susie cookies? No, maybe it's Kelly's turn. Wait, what about Emily? So doing it at the end means you can just divide them up evenly, go through your list and save it all at once. So the Troop cookie link is what we call a virtual booth. That is the link that you will want to share out if you're going to do a virtual booth like we were just talking about, or a drive-up booth. So this link is hosted on social media. You will collect orders, and then the orders are delivered in person. So this is where you'll want to add that pickup location to the booth scheduler. If you want to offer walk-up or in-person sales as well, you'll need to enter that location a second time in Smart Cookies without marking virtual booth. But then all of those cookies are already paid for with the exception of any customers who walk up to your booth. So again, it's a nice contactless way to get and sell cookies, and you're not worrying about cash and things like that. And then again, all you'll need to do is assign those cookies using the Smart Booth Divider, and that will give your girls credit for the cookies sold on the virtual booth. So Jennifer asked, when would you use the Troop Ship link other than to be on the registry? I've never used this before. So really the Troop Ship link, Jennifer, if you wanted to, you could share it out as like on your Facebook page, help my troop. But then again, most of your girls are probably already sharing their individual links. So really the Troop Ship link will be really vital for that National Cookie Locator registry. Otherwise, you'll want to share the Troop cookie link for a virtual booth. Any other questions before we take a quick look at Operation Cookie Share? All right. That is good. We will roll along. So Operation Cookie Share is a great way for our Girl Scout troops to give back to our military troops, both here at home as well as abroad. Each troop will earn $1 per box that is donated. The first 60 cents, the normal troop profit, will automatically appear on any of your troop sales reports. So don't panic if you don't see the full dollar, because the extra 40 cents will be added manually by our finance team at the conclusion of the sale. So that's something that has to be done on the back end. So you will see that on your sales report, just not towards the end of the sale. Then we as a council work with ABC Bakers, Operation Santa, and Soldiers Angels to deliver cookies to first responders and other military organizations, both at home and abroad. And so it's a really great opportunity. And I know I've heard from some families, even in our own council, that have been recipients of Operation Cookie Share cookies, and they talk about what a nice feature it is to be able to get a little bit of a taste of home, especially while they're abroad. So they may not get the yummy chocolate cookies because they don't ship as well, but they do get a taste of some of the Girl Scout cookies that maybe daughters or nieces or friends back home are selling. And so this is a really great program. It's also great for our customers who want to support the program but don't necessarily want the calories of the cookies to support by donating to Operation Cookie Share as well. So we will want to enter Operation Cookie Share sales by hovering over orders and choosing virtual cookie share. We'll want to make sure to enter all Operation Cookie Share donations from booth sales or paper order cards, but donations from online sales are automatically added. So that is one less worry on a leader's plate, are those online cookie share donations. You can update the totals throughout the program. All you'll need to do is just update the total, then click save, and then you can update the girl's total again as she collects donations. Any questions about Operation Cookie Share before we dive into taking a look at our rewards? All righty. So we have talked about the opt-out option for our junior and older troops a couple times. This is a great option if a troop would like to earn extra profit for a goal or some trip or something that they're planning. But we do want to make sure that it is our junior and older troops. It does usually get asked each year if a troop is multi-level, may they opt out? And they may, as long as the rest of the troop has agreed. So it is a troop decision, not a girl by girl decision. So we do want to make sure that everybody is on board. It also comes up of what exactly are we opting out of. So a troop is opting out of receiving all of their physical rewards instead in exchange for extra profit. So they are opting out of receiving all reward items, so the physical stuffed animals or the cup or things like that. They are also opting out of cookie dough and any earned free memberships. An opt-out troop will receive any earned patches, but that is the extent of what they will earn beyond the extra 25 cents per box for an 85-cent per box profit. This does apply to the entire troop. It's not something that each girl can opt in or out of. Troops will opt out in the troop information tab, and we do ask that if a troop is going to opt out that they do so by January 14th. That just helps us to plan and prepare for the future. However, we can opt troops out after that date as well. So the reward order is the final phase of the program, and a troop does need to place one in Smart Cookie in order for girls to receive the rewards that they earned. If a girl continues to pick up cookies after a troop leader has started their reward order, then we need to update those totals so that their rewards will update as well. So again, we need to make sure we're doing troop to girl transfers, that we're giving her the credit she needs so that her rewards continue to accumulate. If we have to go in at the end of the reward order period and close out any sales by choosing rewards for troops, we will choose cookie dough over any physical item. The troop reward orders are due March 20th. And if a troop places their reward order after that date, they will expect a delay in receiving those troop rewards. Otherwise, they'll be available for pickup on April 17th. So I do want to remind you and our troops that rewards are cumulative. The only level that is excluded is the 1,800 box level if a girl earns the Disney Trip or MacBook Pro reward. Cookie dough and travel dough also accumulates. So for example, a girl who sells 500 boxes or more will earn $50 in either cookie dough or travel dough. And I know some of you are wondering what travel dough is, and it is our new reward opportunity. I am really excited about this opportunity, especially as our council is looking towards planning trips and things. I think this will be a great opportunity for our travel-minded Girl Scouts. I know we're getting ready to share our travel plans so girls can start making goals for trips they'd like to take, and travel dough could be a huge part of that. So travel dough is going to be an additional opportunity to help girls to pay for their Girl Scout travel experiences. So we are going to allow girls to use their travel dough for any GSCI sponsored trip or travel camp, for Girl Scout destinations, and for the 2023 Phenom by Girl Scouts for registration, airfare, and lodging during Phenom. So a cool opportunity for our girls. What I like even more about this travel dough is the fact that it actually can be earned and accumulated for a total of 5 cookie seasons. So a girl can really build up and earn and save up this travel dough to use on a trip that she has her goal set on. So travel dough will expire on the 5th year during the same date as when cookie dough expires. So for example, girls who choose the travel dough reward this year in 23, their travel dough code will expire September of 2028. So they have that time to use the travel dough that they earn and accumulate on a Girl Scout sponsored trip. So just like cookie dough, girls who choose travel dough will receive their travel dough via a code in an email, and that will be sent out after the program has closed alongside the cookie dough. Girls will receive the option to choose travel dough instead of cookie dough at each level where cookie dough is offered. So she can mix and match and choose cookie dough at some levels and travel dough at others, but she does have the choice of travel dough at each of the levels where cookie dough is offered. Travel dough is non-refundable. It cannot be transferred to cookie dough or any other type of payment, and it also cannot be transferred between Girl Scouts. But I do think that this is going to be a great opportunity for our girls, and I'm really, really excited. So again, with like the other things, when we've debuted something new or it's something that's changing, I want to make sure that we pause for any questions. Hopefully I'm not, there's a one in the chat box. Here we go. Are they earned at equal rates? Yes, Julie, they are. And you're about to see that here in just a few slides. But for example, if a level is $5 in cookie dough, the reward is $5 in travel dough. So nice and easy. No need to explain why one thing is a different level. If it's $10 cookie dough, it's $10 travel dough. So it's earned at equal rates. Great question. So as a reminder, we do have this brand new travel dough, but cookie dough is also something that can be used for GSCI sponsored events or programs more in a yearly fashion, since cookie dough does expire in a year. It can also be used towards a girl's membership registration or special cookie dough only items that I'll show you here in a few slides that are available at our local boutiques. Leaders can combine their Girl Scouts cookie dough for a troop purchase as long as their parents sign the cookie dough permission form for their parents. Cookie dough will expire. So the cookie dough that's earned in the 23 cookie program will expire on September 16th, 2023. If a girl would like to shop online for items, she will need a special online code. So the due date to submit that request is September 2nd. That is because there is some turnaround when it comes to submitting this code to GSUSA and receiving a different code back. So we do want to make sure that girls still have that window of time until the 16th. So any online codes will need to be requested by September 2nd. So our girls earn their rewards based on 3 different categories: their total boxes sold, their digital cookie sales, as well as their Operation Cookie Share donations. So taking a look at the total sales rewards, here are the levels here. I will save some time for us and I won't go into each level super in depth, but I did want to highlight here that at the 115 box level, the girl will earn a drawstring bag plus either $5 in cookie dough or $5 in travel dough. So again, it is earned at equal rates and it is an option wherever cookie dough is applied. We have metallic sunglasses and a color change sports bottle. At 250 boxes, a girl will earn her free membership and the goal getter patch plus $5 in cookie dough or travel dough. At 300 boxes this year, we do have a new item choice. A girl can choose between the large dolphin plush or either $10 in cookie dough or in travel dough. So she either gets the plush or she gets the dough. Her decision is there at the 300 box level. 400 box level is $10 in cookie dough or $10 in travel dough. At the 500 box level are our Amazon, American Girl, Walmart gift cards or cookie dough or travel dough. I do have this big asterisk here. ABC Smart Cookies reward system only allows up to 4 options for each reward level. So if you count, we have American Girl, Amazon, Walmart, cookie dough. So there's our 4. Unfortunately, they cannot add travel dough. So I want to make sure as we're talking to our volunteers that I note that, because if a girl would like the travel dough at that level, it's absolutely an option. Parents or leaders just need to let us know at that level so we can record that, because Smart Cookies is unable to do so. It's the same at the 1100 box level for our $150 gift cards. Again, the travel dough is an option, but leaders or parents will need to let us know what's being requested at that level. Same thing at the 1800 box level. That is also our super seller level this year. So a girl who sells 1800 or more will receive a $350 gift card or cookie dough or travel dough, plus an additional $20 in cookie dough or travel dough, and the distinction of super seller. So we will have more super seller details as the program approaches, but we did want to make sure we highlighted that level. Again, if a girl would like travel dough at the super seller level, all they need to do is let us know. At the 3000 box level, we have our Disney World trip or MacBook Pro, and a girl will continue to earn $20 in cookie or travel dough at each 100 box increment after 3000 boxes. I did want to again note that rewards are cumulative, except at the 1800 box level if a girl sells 3000 boxes. In order to earn and receive that Disney World trip or MacBook Pro, a girl does need to make sure that their cookie balance is paid in full by that final ACH date of April 4th. Otherwise, that trip will be forfeited. Digital rewards, the girls love the socks and the lanyards, so they vote for those very high. So we always try to make sure to include those in our program. So they will earn a patch at 12 boxes, the lanyard at 24 or more, and the socks at 50 or more digital sales. Girls also earn rewards, like we mentioned, for their Operation Cookie Share donations. For 12 or more donations, she'll receive a patch. 24 or more is the Dolphin Clip-On Plush, and 50 or more is the Tell Your Story bead kit. These are the items that are our special cookie dough only boutique items. Again, these are available for girls to use with their cookie dough only, but very cool themed items that are available for our girls. We also have dollar patches. The booth sale and my first cookie sale patches will be for sale for $1 each, which is a great way to commemorate a girl helping at a booth sale and her first cookie program as well. So as we look at the rewards have come in, we're wrapping up the program. Reports are going to be helpful for our staff, our service unit coordinators, and our troop leaders. So Smart Cookies has all kinds of different reports. You will hover over reports and choose current. You can filter reports by different types of categories. And you can also, as leaders, I know each year I go in and save my top 10. I think I can have 10 favorite reports. That way I can easily access my most popular reports, and troops can do the same in the Smart Cookie system. We do have all kinds of resources and training at your fingertips. ABC Smart Cookies has an entire resources tab on the troop dashboard that has printables, digital art, and Smart Cookie training videos. ABC also has a Flickr site so that you can use clip art to create your own flyers. The Smart Cookies help desk information has changed a little bit from last year. Their new email is abcsmartcookietech at hearthsidefoods.com. The phone number is the same, but the email has changed this year. They also have their ABC Smart Cookie YouTube channel as well. So their video resources can be accessed here. They have girl-oriented training as well as troop-oriented training in Smart Cookie. The Smart Cookie mobile app is for our girls to use. We do want to make sure that as our leaders are telling our girls about the mobile app, if parents have it downloaded from last year, they will need to delete the old version and download the new version, which is version 5.0. And that app is available on anyone's favorite app store. So the Smart Cookie app will need to be re-downloaded. For whatever reason, it does not just update like all of or most of our other apps, but you actually have to delete it and re-download it from season to season. The Girl Scout website, getyourgirlpower.org, will also be a wealth of resources for you. We have all kinds of videos, training materials, as well as forms. So when we're talking to our troops about training their girls and parents, we'll have materials on our website for them, and all kinds of other forms, parent permission forms, outstanding balance forms, things like that. So we had a few revolutionary things or some high importance things that we covered tonight, and I wanted to make sure we just hit the high takeaways here. The first is that the initial order is truly going to be very important in 2023. We did adjust that first ACH, but if troops want cookies, they need to place an initial order. Planned order delivery will not be the same as previous years, especially as we get later on in the program. The first few weeks we should be set, but as Kelly mentioned, in like week 4 and on, it could take up to 5 to 8 business days to get our cookies at our local warehouses. We also want to make sure that our troop leaders are taking the time to assign cookies to girls in the Smart Cookie system. That way, both their finances and their rewards are correct. Travel dough is a new option for our girls to earn, and I think that it's going to be great for them to save for future trips for GSCI. And then the last important takeaway I want to make sure I share is that I wish all of you and all of our troops a fantastic cookie program. And as always, I will be right there by your side to help you out throughout the program. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your schedules this evening to be a part of this training. We're a little bit over our 2-hour window, not too terrible, but I do want to make sure too that I pause and stay on here to make sure I answer any questions. If you don't have any questions, feel free. You can go ahead and sign out. Otherwise, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. But again, I do